Grab your sword, get your cosmic key, because we're going to Eternia. We are doing a video on something that I don't believe we've talked about yet. And it's quite the popular line. So I'm like, wow, I can't believe we haven't talked about it yet. But we are talking Masters of the Universe. Because there is a movie on the horizon. And I thought maybe maybe we should talk about it. Give my 2 cents. And while at the same time, let's look at a new toy while we're doing it. I've always been a He-Man fan. It wasn't my favorite brand growing up as a kid. Me and my brothers, we did have a lot of them. I remember we moved into a new house and it had a sandbox in the backyard. I remember me and my brother, we started digging in the sandbox and we started finding like He-Man parts, like arms. And, we found like Roboto's arms and his torso. And like the more we dug, the more we started finding these He-Man figures. And I thought that that's such a vivid memory for me. That house and that sandbox, because me and my brother were just frantically digging, finding all these He-Man parts. We probably only found like 2 or 3 figures, but it was cool. He-Man's great. I watched the cartoon as a kid. A few years ago, I tried to get my son into it, and I realized, wow, the cartoon is not good. I'm sorry for anyone that still loves a cartoon. That's great, but it doesn't hold up. It's very convoluted. Also He-Man, and I know like you take Batman, he's got a bunch of different, histories and different universes and that. He-Man, it's like when the 80s figures came out, they had the comic books. Well, that story told a totally different story than what the cartoon told. And then in, I believe, what was it, 87, we got the Masters of the Universe movie with Dolph Lundgren in it. Also, Frank Langella playing Skeletor, probably one of the greatest roles ever because he was the highlight of that movie. Let's, state facts here. But that movie did not do well. I still enjoy it. I enjoyed it as a kid. I could still watch it today and still kind of enjoy it. It definitely had its issues. The fact that it took place on Earth for the majority of the movie. It's like, dude, it's He-Man. Like, we grew up knowing Eternia and Castle Grayskull. And it's like, you had a little bit in the beginning and a little bit at the end and then Earth in the middle. Now, that's always been my problem with like the Transformers movies. I know that I think the Bumblebee movie ventured off into Cybertron in the beginning, but my biggest problem was it's all on Earth. It's all on. I want a Cybertronian war movie. Like I want that. And I feel like when you do these movies of IPs that take place in other worlds or other planets, for some reason the directors, the producers, the writers, they always find a reason to want to like take it to Earth. Like why? We don't need that. So that He-Man movie taking place on Earth was a big miss. Also, He-Man didn't look like He-Man. Skeletor was great. Like it was a departure from Skeletor in the cartoon and the figures. But again, Frank Langella was amazing. Evil Lynn was really good too. But Man-at-Arms, it was almost like they did what X-Men did in 2000, put everyone in black leather. So it's like, why? Now we're starting to get to the point where it's okay to put these characters in bright costumes. So Man-at-Arms, he had like bluish gray armor. Same thing with Tila. And He-Man didn't have a lot of his signature stuff. And it just didn't. Beastman was kind of all right, but it's like, then you made up a bunch of new characters for the movie. It's like, why? You had all these great characters in the line. But again, the movie was what it was, didn't perform. The line went downhill after that. But now we are on the cusp of, everyone doing 80s movies and old IPs and stuff like that. And, I know that the He-Man movie, Masters of the Universe, has been in like turnaround and production hell for so long. And they, I had heard they were doing a movie or trying to get it off the ground, and I just never heard anything more. And I just thought it was just still behind the scenes stuff being worked. And all of a sudden I saw behind the scenes pictures of the actor playing, He-Man, Prince Adam. And then they released a poster just the other day. And I'm like, whoa, this is actually happening. I didn't realize it was actually like filming, but they are filming the movie right now as we're filming this video. And I felt like it'd be a good time to talk about the movie because we don't know much about it, but it's fun to speculate. And it's going to be fun to speculate as I open up this item, this Prince Adam and Cringer, this this cartoon series from Mattel. I love the retro line they started doing. I didn't get into the animated stuff, but I was at Target and I said, hey, we're filming this video. Let me pick this up for the occasion. So let's talk about the movie. So, and let me get the list because I didn't know offhand the actor's name. Nicholas Galatine. I looked up what he was in, and I don't recognize anything. I've never seen him. However, some behind-the-scenes images have surfaced of him in a pink button-down shirt as Prince Adam, and he's getting escorted away by police. And they have the power sword there, and I'm like, well, he looks huge, like he looks enormous, which he should. He's He-Man. And the kid looks great. For the rest of the cast, you have the girl from Deadpool. She's playing Sorceress. You have Idris Elba playing Man-at-Arm, which is an amazing choice. I love Idris Elba. I want him in the Action Force movie, which I'll touch on in a minute. But and then the other big one is Jared Leto as Skeletor. Now that totally took me by surprise. I love Jared Leto. I think his movies are fantastic. He's a great actor. I'm one of the few people that liked his iteration of Joker. Maybe not exactly Suicide Squad Joker, but I will say, and this is going to be the hottest take ever, but I've said it before, so I'm confident in saying it because I've gotten crap for it. The 3-minute scene at the end of Justice League, the Snyder Justice League, the only one that matters, that scene with Jared Leto as the Joker is the greatest iteration of Joker on film ever. And I will die on the sword for Heath Ledger. But when I saw that 3-minute scene, that scene was amazing. That's what Joker should have been in Suicide Squad. And again, that movie, David Ayer, his cut, it all got messed up. And they said there was more Joker scenes and it was better. Who knows? Maybe we'll never see it. Maybe we will. But it doesn't change the fact that Jared Leto is an amazing actor. And I think he's going to really embrace the Skeletor. And I think we're going to get somewhere in between the Frank Langella and the hokey kind of cartoon Skeletor. We'll see. I mean, it's going to be an interesting take to see. But they are filming, so I can't wait for us to see our first scenes of Skeletor. I wonder, are they going to put him in makeup? Is it going to be CGI? How's it going to be done? Is he going to be... what was his name? I always forget Skeletor's name when he was like a human. And then he became Skeletor. So I wonder if the movie's going to kind of do that, where you see him as like more humanoid and then he changes to Skeletor. I don't know. But again, the cast is great. The power sword is amazing. That was, I feel a little confident in the movie because of the power sword. Now again, in the Dolph Lundgren movie, he had this it was a sword. It just looked nothing like the power sword. Power sword is so iconic, like Sword of Omens. So it's like, why do you need to change it? Now, the power sword in the movie really looks just like this. And the movie poster they released, it shows kind of He-Man. He's holding the sword like this, and it's just like his chest and his hands. But he's got the gauntlets, and he's, you can tell he's ripped and tanned and oiled up. But he's got the power sword, and it looks perfect. So there's someone there that's being pretty faithful. So again, I'm a little confident there. The one thing I'm kind of not confident about is the fact that it takes place on Earth. Now, I don't know if the whole movie takes place on Earth, but those behind the scenes pictures that got released or leaked, they weren't official. It's him being escorted away by cops, and he's in a pink button-down shirt, kind of to resemble Prince Adam, which was a nice nod, I guess. But I'm like, Earth, why? Can we make it just like a Conan movie and just have it be on Eternia, in Castle Grayskull, in Snake Mountain, maybe, Hordax Fright Zone, like all that. Like, give me that. Like, do a lot of fan servicing. Maybe it's just a small portion of the movie takes place on Earth. I don't know. But either way, you're going to need to either get from Eternia to Earth or Earth to Eternia. And when you start doing that, then it gets messy. So, and again, I think a lot of the comments I've seen are Earth again. You didn't learn anything from the first movie. Now with my Action Force movie, it's good. It all takes place on Earth, so I don't have to worry about that, but, you know, again, I'm not a filmmaker. I'm going to experience making a film, hopefully by the end of this year. We have some movie stuff that I'll probably be announcing soon, but stuff we can't say yet because it, hasn't been made public. But, it's fun to like look at cast and stuff like Idris Elba. I would love Idris Elba for Rollout. Like, I think he's such a great actor. I love every movie he's in. So that, would be a dream come true. I mean, shoot, man, you look at the He-Man cast, it's like, I'd have that cast for Action Force. But again, let's get back to He-Man. I am very open-minded about it, even though there's the Earth stuff. Because again, if it's, say, it's just the very beginning of the movie, maybe Prince Adam doesn't know he's He-Man. Maybe like when he was a baby, he got sent to Earth. And it's a Luke Skywalker situation. Like, oh, I don't know who I am. And, maybe people find out that he went to Earth and they go searching for him. Like, he needs to come back to Eternia and liberate Eternia from Skeletor. And someone brings him a power sword and he realizes he's He-Man. And, it's like in I know a lot of people didn't like it. I liked it because I love Guy Ritchie. But King Arthur with Charlie Hunnam and Jude Law. It was kind of similar to that. It's like the movie starts, it's like Charlie Hunnam's King Arthur. Like, he doesn't realize he's King Arthur because he thinks he was an orphan and this and that, but that kind of got sent away. And it builds up to him getting a sword and learning who he was and embracing that. It might be kind of similar to that, but we'll see. If that is the case, which I hope it is, just give me only a little bit of Earth. Like, give me like the first quarter of the movie at most on Earth. Get me back to Eternia. Put him in the loincloth and the cross armor. Like, that's what I want. I want Man-at-Arms and some yellow armor. I want Teal in her snake headdress. I want all that. Because as we've seen from Deadpool and Wolverine, you can put iconic looking characters that were in spandex or these weird bright colors in film if done the right way. Like, that Wolverine costume was amazing. Even though you look at him and you're like, in the comics and the cartoon, I don't know if that can translate to film, but it can be done. We got very talented design people. It can be done. So we'll see. The one thing I do want to look up is who the director is. The director and the writer, because that also says a lot. Writer, Chris Butler. He did the screenplay. What has he done? Paranorman, Missing Link, Caroline movies. He's done a lot of animated. Corpse Bride. He did storyboards. It looks like he doesn't have a whole lot of experience with kind of this genre, but that's okay. That could be a good thing. I mean, look at what the guy who directed Joker. I mean, he did the Hangover movies, and then he directed Joker. So, let's see. Travis Knight is the... Let me get back to it. Is the director. I've heard that name before, but I'm like, what has he done? Let's see. Oh, so he's worked with the writer again. So he was like the producer on, Paranorman, Missing Link, the Box Trolls. He was the director of the Bumblebee movie. Okay. And from 2018. Okay. So, but again, a movie where started on Cybertron and then went to Earth. So we'll see. But again, I'm open-minded about it. I know it's a trend to just get really critical of stuff by seeing one or two images, and that's unfortunate because that could really kill a movie. I mean, shoot, man, going as far back as Green Lantern. Look what happened to that movie. Like, and people just wouldn't go see it. I always feel like, don't let someone talk you out of going to see something. You form your own opinion. Like, there are plenty of movies that I love that people hate, and there are plenty of movies I hate that people love, and that's okay. But you shouldn't, stop yourself from going to possibly be entertained, because if you just take someone's word for it and like, oh, that movie's terrible, don't go see it. But what if you go and see that movie and you actually love it, and then it's a movie you want to watch over and over again? Then you miss that opportunity because you took that person's word for it. So I would like to see people kind of be a little more open-minded with movie stuff. And if you see it and you don't like it, cool. Then you can form an opinion. You can say it was bad for X, Y, Z. But again, let's wait. I'm sure now that they released the poster, which was pretty quick after those leaked photos came out, I think you're going to start seeing more. And, by the summer, Comic-Con probably should have a trailer. And then the movie comes out sometime next year. So we'll see. I'm excited. Having these properties come out is always a good thing. And hopefully it's something that is good enough to the point where we get multiple iterations or a show or something like that, because there's a really deep lore with He-Man. Because He-Man, it lived on from the 80s, and then you had the weird 90s line with Mullet He-Man. And then you had the 2000s stuff with the Four Horsemen, and then classics. And the lore kept growing. More stuff happening. And then you have all these new things. You have the Kevin Smith show, and then the Netflix show, which I don't know I don't believe they're the same thing. I think Kevin Smith did one series, and then Netflix is now doing the new kid series. I haven't watched either one of them. But again, it's cool that lore is still building on. Same thing with like Turtles. The lore is always evolving and new iterations are coming out. So we'll see. I'm excited, but I'm also excited. Let's look at a toy while we're at it. Because it wouldn't be, the Valaverse channel if I wasn't talking about toys. I can't just talk about a movie that hasn't come out yet. So like I said, I picked up this. This is from their cartoon collection. I think they do such a great job with the throwback packaging. You see the item, it's great. But, in the cartoon, Prince Adam and Cringer were really hokey. So, it's like, okay, we'll see. But I wanted to see, I'm always fascinated how they build out animals. Because I have the retro one, and I have the Masterverse one. And the Battle Cats there are really well done. So, seeing another iteration of Battle Cat and how they do it is pretty interesting. So let's see what we got here. I mean, they keep their standard builds. I hate these tie downs. Action Force has these tie downs, and while I like them, because it keeps the figure secure, it is like a little bit of a pain to get out, but it's fine. Let's see.
Just remember the middle.
Yep. All right. So here we got Prince Adam in all his pink and purple glory. Look at that. When they were creating this back then, it was like you have this giant muscle-bound Conan-looking dude, and when you wanted to make him like not He-Man, you decided to put him in pink and purple. Very bold design choice. Very bold. But it works. It's iconic. It's nice that it looks like his tunic can come off here, which is always good. But yeah, this same retro build, so it fits with all my figures that I have already. They nailed the cartoon look in the face, which is always a good thing. Comes with the nice laughing head. Very silly. Tickle me, He-Man. Here. Tickle me, He-Man. I hope that goes viral. All right. Here's his Power Sword. Again, Power Sword is so iconic. If you have not seen that poster that they released of the movie Power Sword, please go take a look at it, because it was one of the best translations of, cartoon or figure lore to movie, weapons that I've seen in a long time. Normally, like I said, everyone's trying to change and make their own thing, but the Power Sword looks pretty amazing. I hope, one of these companies like United Cutlery or Noble Collection does a movie version of the Power Sword, because I'll be all over it. Because you guys know, if you haven't seen, you know, the office tour, you'll know that I have an armory, and I have a ton of swords, Lord of the Rings. I got Sword of Omens out there. I got Kingdom of Heaven sword. But I could use a power sword. There's also a company that started doing, sorry for the loud packaging. They started doing the Skeletor staff, which I thought is pretty cool. Maybe if I see one at a show, I'll pick one up. Could be cool to have Skeletor staff. Okay. So here we go. We got Cringer out of the package. What ton of articulation on a cat. And this is the way it should be. You know, you want to put this guy in every pose, you know, his sitting poses, you know, his get on his hind legs, kind of up poses. But it's a lot. And he's good. And he comes with this nice extra head that has the articulated mouth, which is always nice. You should always have an articulated mouth on animals if you can. Now, you know, Cringer, he was really goofy and scared in the cartoon. And then, you know, magical powers, he turned into Battle Cat. Now I wonder, I mean, I'm sure they've done it. I just don't know it because I was only collecting the retro stuff. If they've done a cartoon version of Battle Cat yet. So, and if they have, I'm sure the armor fits on him. Got a nice articulated tail. But yeah, all this articulation, you know, the pads on his feet, that's nice detail. You know, because some people forget about bottoms of stuff. Like, there are lines that don't put soles of boots. For Action Force, I put all the treads on it because, you know, you want that detail. If you're taking a pose of a guy, you know, kicking, you know, you don't want to just see like legal lines. You want to be able to see, you know, some realistic detail. But Cringer is nice. He's nice. He's durable. Nothing feels loose on him. Like I said, I love what Mattel is doing with He-Man now. I think I haven't gotten into any of the Masterverse stuff, but it looks cool. It's just that, you know, I don't have the room to collect all this stuff. I love the retro line, and I have just about all that stuff. There's a few of the newer ones that I'm missing. But they went deep, which is great. They did some new stuff that, you know, wasn't in the original line, which is fine because you still want it to evolve. But, I mean, he looks, you know, it's fine. You know, he grew when he turned into Battle Cat. So he is a little small. But, again, this is like a perfect cartoon iteration of Prince Adam and Battle Cat. So, great item. Very, very good item. So, even though it's the cartoon series, it will go on my shelf with the rest of them. Who knows? Maybe I'll get into the cartoon series because it seems like a fun line. I think maybe if you guys like this video, you guys like me talking about He-Man and Masters of the Universe, maybe as they start releasing more images, maybe a trailer, maybe we'll do another video and make kind of like a Masters of the Universe series where I kind of keep talking about the growth of the movie as we move forward, and we'll play with some more toys while we're doing it.